Hello and welcome to this introduction of personalized goals for 2025. My name is Pam Sawatsky and I am a learning consultant with SunWest Learning Support Team. Today I will be sharing the why and what behind PGs, walk through the process of creating a PG, and identify some supports that are available to you as you create and monitor them throughout the year. First up, the why of personalized goals, and what are they? The why for PGs ties us back to SunWest's vision statement, success for all. Personalized goals take a large outcome and break it down into manageable chunks so kids and families can experience success as they move towards mastering grade level achievement goals. To put it succinctly, a PG is an individualized, data-driven goal with a specific target that will allow the student to work towards achievement expectations. Here you can see SunWest goals for student achievement in reading, writing, and math, as well as school readiness in the early years and grad rates. In reading, writing, and math, the goal states that 100% of our students will be meeting or exceeding standards or be working towards a personalized goal. For the early years, all of our kindergarten students will be ready for learning in the primary grades or be working on a personalized goal. Last but not least, for graduation rates, all of our grade 12 students will have a personalized plan for graduation. Our grade 11s will have 16 credits or a personalized plan, and our grade 10s will have 8 credit units or a personalized plan. So, who needs a PG? Well, anyone not on track for achieving grade level outcomes by the end of the year, as indicated by scoring a 1 or 2 in reading, writing, or math on a foundational outcome. Anyone not on track to graduate on time? Kindergarten students who scored yellow or red on the EYE in the fall. Teachers may also choose to use personalized goals for students who need enrichment or to develop goal-setting skills. I like to think of a PG as a quick win within a broader curricular goal. First, all PGs follow a SMART goal format in that they state who, what, when, where, and how. They're informed by data. They're monitored frequently, about every 6 to 8 weeks. They include a specific timeline, include strategies that will be used. They include student and family voice, and are targeted toward a foundational skill or outcome. In other words, what the student needs most right now. And of course, they are communicated with the student themselves, family, and other staff working with the student. Educators have many documents that help support student learning, and sometimes it can be quite confusing which one is for what. Our team of consultants created this handy chart with explanations of the differences between an Inclusion and Intervention Plan, or IIP, a Student Support Plan, SSP, and a Personalized Goal, PG. It can be found on our website for reference. So, how do we create a PG that is meaningful for students and those that support them, their educators and parents? First up, we're going to talk about reading, writing, and math. The personalized goals process follows the assessment cycle model. Educators use screeners, observation, and other tools to determine areas of strength as well as areas that require more support. Then you need to decide if a PG is actually warranted. Write the goal using a SMART goal format, communicate the goal with families, and collaborate on how it might be supported at home. Then you need to implement the strategies you have identified, monitor progress, and adjust the goal as needed. Remember to celebrate with the child and their family when they have experienced success. Head on over to the SunWest website Learning tab on the far right of the screen. There you will find several documents to support your PG process, including continuums for reading, writing, and math, foundational outcomes document for reference, a list of recommended benchmark assessments, a fillable form to download, some data tracking templates, a year at a glance document, and whether or not you're looking for a personalized goal, student support plan, or IIP. Use the QR code on this slide to watch a short tutorial of how to get to the personalized goals section on the website. So here we go. We're going to build a PG, and we're going to be thinking about making sure it's time-bound, specific, the strategy is identified, how will we know when they're being successful, and how the family is connected. So we want a quick win 6 weeks from today. So I've identified that by December 1st, Alex will improve their addition fact fluency to 12 plus 12 by studying foundational fact strategies. I've been very specific about the area of adding and that I want that child to be able to do. We will work in a small group, focusing on one new strategy a week, including doubles, making tens, etc. Alex will be able to add numbers to 12 plus 12 with automaticity on class math drills. So I've identified my strategy and how I'll know when they're successful. Alex's parents will support this at home by playing card games such as Addition War. And of course, I might send home a packet of those cards with some instructions, maybe make sure to contact them and ask later if there's any questions or if there's anything else that might work better. So with that, you can see I've built a very effective personalized goal that I know I have to check in on about 6 weeks from today. So what does a non-example look like? When they're very vague and not time-bound, I don't have any way of knowing exactly how I'm going to know if they're getting better, if they are making progress. So I want it to be very specific. You can see with these, there's no indication of time, strategy, no family engagement whatsoever, and it's very vague. I haven't created a benchmark to know for myself when that time would come. Use the fillable form found on the SunWest website for a step-by-step guide on how to create a well-written PG. Watch this quick tutorial using the QR code on how to use the fillable form. In the past, we have housed our personalized goals in Dossier. Dossier has now been discontinued. We are working towards moving PGs over to Edsby so that they're more accessible to teachers. Supports will be in place to ensure a smooth transition when we're all set. I had the opportunity to sit down with a couple of SunWest teachers this spring to find out what has made a difference in using PGs to advance student learning. Alana Zur, a grade 1 teacher at Northwest Central School in Plenty, reports putting PGs at the top of her to-do list this year. Developing a partnership approach with families by communicating the goals and using the resources available, such as the fillable form on the website, has made a big difference. Keisha Padiachi, a middle years math teacher at Kyle Composite School, says that PGs meet her students where they are at so that they can be successful on just right goals within the larger curriculum goals. She engages her students in self-reflection on the curricular outcomes to help them have ownership in the process. Middle years math can be daunting to families trying to support their young adolescents. To support PGs at home, she asks parents to just sit with their child as they do a couple of questions at home to get some more retrieval practice. She also encourages parents to have their student teach them how to do the question, which also supports retrieval practice and puts tweens in the driver's seat of their own learning. What will make the biggest difference for you and your students this year? How will you use PGs to move the needle on student learning? By engaging students and families in the process, using the tools available, and trying some different approaches, you will find that sweet spot. Alana pointed out, don't be afraid to ask for help. Utilize the supports already available, choose small attainable goals, try some stuff, and if that doesn't work, switch it up and try something else. Most importantly, give yourself grace in the process. You're only human. Next, we'll move on to graduation rates. The division graduation goals put students on track to acquire at least 8 credits per year to attain the minimum 24 credits by the end of their grade 12 year, or to have a personalized plan for those that require an extended high school program. The goal tracking process is similar to the process in reading, writing, and math in that it starts with review and verification of the data, moves to the development of a personalized goal where required, and then relies on frequent tracking to review to support students in achieving the goal. We use Form 110-6, the graduation rates tracking of at-risk students, to monitor this progress. Next up, the early years, our kindergarten students. The early years PGs follow a similar process to the reading, writing, and math goals. It's just that we get started a little later to allow everyone to settle in a bit more into the school year. Kindergarten teachers use the EYETA Fall Pre-Assessment as well as the Kindergarten Phonological Awareness Screen to identify students who would benefit from early intervention and supports as they prepare for learning in the primary grades. Please note that the adjusted dates each year will come out to teachers in the assessment schedule, and that results should be reviewed by the school team, the speech and language pathologist, as well as the student support consultant. Plans for support and intervention will be developed by the team, and PGs are built around both the phonological awareness screen and the EYETA. The guide for our PGs contains a full calendar broken down month by month, looking at what needs to be done each month. Have a look at August and make sure you're good to go. Take a peek into September and consider this when planning your month. You'll see that November 1st is the deadline for submitting PGs into Dossier, so you do have a solid amount of time to work through the process. You can plan on checking in on the PGs about every 6 to 8 weeks, throughout the school year. Often this falls around the time that we have a PD day where you may be given time to work on that. As mentioned, there are loads of supports to guide the PG process. I am available for coaching with full staffs, small groups, or one-on-one. Stay tuned for updates throughout the year as we switch over to EDSB to house the goals. Thanks for listening and have an awesome year.